Hi, hi.
Hey,
Oh my gosh, I am so excited to see you, and I'm glad we could make this happen today.
Dave. Thanks for making the time.
Here at 99.7, we feel like we have this special connection, and literally every time you drop a single, it is a major event for us.
Oh, you're so sweet.
So when we debuted Vampire, we actually had some of your biggest Bay Area fans on with us to blow the thing up here in the Bay, and the
That's awesome.
Bay Area feels this really special connection with you. How do you feel about the Bay Area in terms of like your connection here? It's gotta feel good to have this kind of love and energy from the Bay Area.
Oh my gosh, yeah. That's amazing. We're all Cali girls. I love that. And I had so much fun playing when I was in San Fran last year on tour, and very excited to come back. Yeah.
So, in terms of like the energy here in the Bay Area, and I want to talk about, I was going to get into this later, but the VMA performance this year was just bonkers.
Oh, thanks.
And the energy that you got back from the crowd there was unlike anything I had ever seen ever on a VMA's performance.
Thanks. Yeah. I sort of threw everyone for a little bit of a loop. I was like, hey, things are going wrong. I was like trying to trick people into thinking that things were going wrong, but we had it under control.
I think people who knew, but the people who didn't were like, whoa, what's going on here? And
Yeah.
it was just an amazing moment at the VMAs.
Thank you so much. It was a fun time. Those events are always a lot of fun and a lot of energy.
So we got to get into the album. Guts literally is one of those albums that you put on from track 1 to track 12. It is just there's not a skippable moment.
Thank you.
So you've got to sit down and you've got to listen to the whole thing like as a whole, and it holds together really nicely. You've got down to 12 tracks, but you had like way more than 12.
Yeah.
How do you pick what goes on an album?
Yeah, it's tricky. I think sometimes it's really helpful to play it for other people. I think sometimes when you're making it, you have like such a sentimental bond and attachment to these songs. And I think playing them for other people can kind of help you have a little bit of a more objective standpoint. But it's kind of like a little puzzle. You want to have like the right amount of, ballads and the right amount of rock songs. We can't have two of these songs because it's about the same thing. And, so it's like a delicate balance.
So in terms of, and I'd seen an interview where you were talking about you have to write a bunch of bad songs to get to the good ones.
Yeah.
How do you know it's a bad song? And I would have a hard time believing that you would write something that other people wouldn't be like, oh, that's not a good song.
Wow, believe it. I write a lot of bad songs. I don't know. I think it's important to like keep that tap flowing. I'm very big on like trying to write every day. But yeah, I certainly do write some bad songs, but it's okay. As long as it like helps me process my emotions and it's fun, then it's totally worth it.
So it's therapy then.
Exactly, definitely.
How do you know when a song is worth continuing on? Like if you've hit a rough part in a song, but you're like, there's gold here. How do you know that that song is worth the investment in time and emotion?
Yeah, it's really hard, and I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I've really worked hard and toiled over songs and finished them, and I was like, oh, this is not very good. This is never going to see the light of day. But I think it's really important to finish things. I always say that finished is better than perfect because if you don't finish it, you'll never actually know if it's good. So when in doubt, always try to finish. That's what I'd say.
When you're putting together the track list for Guts, how important is the order of the songs? Because I feel like that's a part of the artistic process as well.
Yeah, I think it's really important. I love trying to listen to albums in order. I think it's fun. It takes you on a journey. I was very intent on having the album start with All American. I thought that was such a fun
That is a great
album opener. Yeah.
The second I hit play on All American, it's like, this whole album is going to be amazing. And it did not disappoint, but that was the perfect song to kick the album off with.
Thank you. Yeah, I made that and I was like, album opener for sure. But you just go through. I really wanted to end with Pretty Isn't Pretty too, because I like the album. The last thing I say in the album is it gets better, but what if I don't? I think it's a cool question to end it on. So I don't know. Yeah, it's all part of the process.
Yeah, Pretty Isn't Pretty is literally my standout track on the album. Not that the entire
Oh
album is great, but literally that's like the concept of Pretty Isn't Pretty is something that everybody who's ever had that moment of looking in the mirror and just not liking what they see. I mean, everyone's had that moment before and it's totally relatable. And it doesn't matter what age or ethnicity or anything. Writing songs that are like universal is more than an art. It's kind of a blessing. How did you know that you had that in you?
Yeah. Oh, thank you so much. That's so kind of you to say. I think that I never approach writing a song from the perspective of like, how am I going to relate to everyone? I think that songs like that are relatable don't really come from those places. I think you just kind of have to try to boil down an emotion to its essential parts and just talk about how you feel. And I think that honesty always finds a way to be relatable. So that's always my mission.
Did you come up with the title Guts first and then write the songs, or did you come up with the songs and then the songs kind of titled the album?
I had the title of Guts for a while. I actually had it before I even put out Sour. I just always loved the word guts. I think it has such cool connotations. I love the phrases that it's put in, like spill your guts, hate your guts, you know. I love the word, like if you're really upset, like that you're gutted over something. I think that's just so cool. So yeah, I've had it for a while.
I'll tell you, the album literally is like one of those that, like I said, you start off with All American Bitch and you just go straight on through, and it is really hard to. There are no skippable tracks.
I
What was
appreciate
the
that.
easiest or most fun track for you to write?
Ooh, I had so much fun writing Love is Embarrassing. And the lyrics are kind of funny. And I remember just coming up to them and being like, haha, like this is so dumb. And it also felt like something I needed to say. It was just like so silly and fun and just like, I don't know. Life is just so embarrassing and it makes it a little less embarrassing if you can kind of talk about it.
Funny thing is, like you talk about something, oh, it's just a dumb, silly idea, but like a lot, like your writing is really smart.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And I feel like it resonates with all different kinds of people, and it's just mind blowing when you listen to the different tracks and kind of. There are some albums you can listen to and you kind of know what the next single is going to sound like, or the next song on the album is going to sound like, or whatever. And there's so many unexpected, cool moments on Guts. It's amazing.
Thanks. You're so kind. I appreciate it.
So when you're writing, obviously you either start with an idea for a song or like a melody comes into your head. But do you have a specific place that you get creative? Or do things just come to you? Like, do you have to be sitting down at a piano or?
Yeah, I mean, it's different every time. I mean, I have my like little music area in my house where I wrote All American there and I wrote Love is Embarrassing there, my like little piano in my living room. But yeah, I mean, inspiration strikes at really random times. Sometimes you're just doing something random and you're like, wow, that's where I saw, you know? So it's different every time.
Saw the Vogue interview, which was awesome.
Oh,
And
thanks.
had a little sneak peek. Are you a vinyl fanatic?
Oh my gosh, I do love vinyl. I don't know if I'm a fanatic quite yet, but I'm getting there. It's really fun to kind of have tangible music that you can own. And yeah, I honestly I feel like I've discovered a lot of my favorite artists through vinyl. When I was younger, I would just go to the thrift store and I got like Tapestry by Carole King for the first time. You know, I got all these Pat Benatar records and Tanya Tucker records and you know all these older artists that I maybe wouldn't have stumbled across on streaming platforms. So I don't know. I think vinyl is really special in that way.
Super exciting that we've got a vinyl fanatic along, well, it's a vinyl aficionado along with me because I love vinyl as well. And your music on vinyl kind of hits different and it feels a little more organic and it's super fun to listen. So thank you for the vinyl releases.
Oh, thank you. That's nice of you to say.
And we got to talk about the tour, which is upcoming. You added a second Bay Area date. We love you for that. Thank you. Thank you. It's a bigger kind of tour this time around. You're doing much bigger venues. What's that going to allow you to do? Or
Yeah.
how does that change the way you approach putting together a stage show or performance?
Yeah, I think it totally is a different approach. I was so lucky to play, maybe, I don't actually, yeah, maybe it was like 2,000, 3,000 people venues for the Sour Tour, and it was so much fun and so intimate, but I'm so excited to play these arenas. I think it's going to be so much fun. I think the energy is going to be so much higher, and I think I just want everyone to scream and dance and have a great time. But yeah, I feel like I sort of wrote this record Guts with this tour in mind. I like wrote all these songs like Love's Embarrassing and All American Bitch and Ballad of a Homeschooled Girl in my head, thinking, wow, these would be so fun to play on stage and have all these like guitars being like blasted out to crowds of people. So I think it's gonna be really fun.
And we'll see if there are any stage mishaps on the tour too.
Just like the VMAs, yeah, you never know. I keep you guessing.
I cannot wait. We can't wait to get you here in the Bay. And thank you so much for spending time with us today. It is, first of all, your album was like one of the biggest gifts this year. So thank you for that. And we can't wait for you to get here. Shout out your Bay Area friends. What would you like to tell the entire Bay Area here?
Oh, I would love to tell the Bay Area hello. Thank you so much for listening and showing me all the support. And I cannot wait to scream all these songs with you very soon.
All righty. Well, we'll be screaming that when you get here.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Ladies and gentlemen, with 99.7.